What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 5 sleeper picks.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to give you some of my top DFS sleeper picks, super low priced and low ownership players that could crush value this week and give your lineup an advantage over the field. These are risky plays, meant for large tournaments only. Don't go all in on any of these guys. They are high risk, high reward picks. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Oh, and good news, guys. Make sure to stay tuned to the very end of this video because we removed the box that was popping up and blocking the lineup. So now you can see a full lineup using these picks that we made in this video if you stay to the very end. Okay, guys, NFL Week 5. Let's take a look at the quarterback position. My sleeper pick at the quarterback position is Jared Goff from the Detroit Lions playing the Minnesota Vikings, who have the 9th worst defense overall and they're middle of the pack defending opposing quarterbacks. Jared Goff has averaged 20.3 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 2.8 rush attempts per game. He's only going to be about 2% owned, projected at 16.4 fantasy points here in Week 5, but I think he can score 20 fantasy points or more in this one. He's $5,300 DraftKings salary, $1,800 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 49 points scored in this game, and they have the Lions trailing by 10. So this is a decent matchup, fairly high scoring game, and I like this pick because I think Jared Goff is going to be forced to pass the ball quite a bit in this game, so he's going to get tons of opportunity to rack up those fantasy points. And he's been playing pretty well this season, with the exception of 1 or 2 weeks. Let's take a look at his last 4 games. He scored 19, 9, 20, and 33 fantasy points in his last 4 games. So his first 4 games have been pretty well if you throw that 9 away. So I think he can score 20 fantasy points or more in this one, and maybe have a ceiling game if the Detroit Lions fall behind and he's just passing the ball all game long. So I like Jared Goff here versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
All you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
and we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. My sleeper pick at the running back position is Kareem Hunt from the Cleveland Browns playing the LA Chargers, who have a good defense overall and they're middle of the pack defending opposing running backs. Kareem Hunt has averaged 16.9 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 10.8 rush attempts per game and 3.8 pass targets per game. He's only going to be about 2% owned, projected at 12 fantasy points here in Week 5. He's $5,800 DraftKings salary and $1,200 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 47 points scored in this game, with the Browns trailing by 2.5. So Kareem Hunt got 18 touches last week, scored 17 fantasy points, and he got 17 touches the week before that, scored 28 fantasy points. So this guy's got a big role in the offense, and he catches passes out of the backfield. His salary's pretty low at only 2% ownership in a competitive game here tonight. So I like Kareem Hunt here versus the LA Chargers. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. My sleeper pick at the wide receiver position is Khalif Raymond from the Detroit Lions playing the Minnesota Vikings, who have the 9th worst defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing wide receivers. Khalif Raymond has averaged 11.3 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 5.5 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 72% of the snaps. He's only going to be about 1% owned, projected at 8.8 fantasy points here in week 5. He's 4,800 DraftKings salary, 500 more on FanDuel. So Vegas thinks there's going to be 49 points scored in this game, with the Lions trailing by 10. So I think this makes for an interesting stack, a low salary stack with a lot of opportunity and a lot of upside. Jared Goff and Khalif Raymond, I think these guys can put in a pretty big game. Khalif Raymond scored 20 fantasy points last week off of 6 pass targets and 13 fantasy points the week before that off of 10 pass targets. So I like Khalif Raymond here versus the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, moving on to the tight end position. My sleeper pick at the tight end position, and I slipped and I let this guy out in yesterday's video, but it's Hunter Henry from the New England Patriots playing the Houston Texans, who have the 7th worst defense overall, and they give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. Hunter Henry has averaged 8.5 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 4.5 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 73% of the snaps. He's only going to be about 1% owned, projected at 9.1 fantasy points here in week 5. He's 3,700 DraftKings salary and 1,700 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks this is going to be a low-scoring game. 39.5 points scored in this game, with the Patriots favored by 8.5. So we never like to see that low-scoring game when we're picking our fantasy players, but I think you can make an exception for Hunter Henry because he's got a fantastic matchup. He got 5, 6, and 4 pass targets the past 3 weeks, scored 13, 9, and 6 fantasy points. So I think he can score 10 fantasy points or more in this one at super low ownership and low salary. So I like Hunter Henry here versus the Houston Texans.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.